Hi folks, Paul Freund with Tama County Solid Waste. Are you interested in learning where your products come from and how knowing this can help us make better choices for the environment? Well, stay tuned as we go through this educational and engaging activity. Through this activity, you should be able to recognize that the earth is the source of everything we make, use, and throw away. And you should be able to differentiate between natural resources and human-made items and their associated life cycles. If you want to make this more relatable, use rescued items from the trash and recycling bin, such as an aluminum can, a glass bottle, some newspaper, a plastic bag, and a fruit peel.
This activity illustrates that the earth is the source of everything we make, use, and throw away. Natural resources are the raw materials supplied by nature. People cannot create natural resources. Even though we use natural resources in our daily life, we often do not think of them as being resources. Through the use of classifying skills, the different properties of natural and human-made objects will be reviewed. And by identifying the ways manufacturing and disposing of products alter the environment, people can better appreciate their personal role in conserving natural resources. A number of different natural resources are used by humans throughout the world. These resources include air, plants, animals, fossil fuels, forestry, soil, water, and more. There are two distinct classifications of natural resources: renewable resources that are essentially infinite and non-renewable resources, which have a finite or limited volume. The quality of life associated with the continued consumption of non-renewable natural resources and the adoption of renewable natural resources is known as natural resource management. With the depletion of many natural resources, a move towards sustainable development has been adopted by a number of industries and governments worldwide. The concern over natural resources was heavily influenced by the westward expansion of the United States during the late 1800s. Both before and during his presidency, Theodore Roosevelt became one of the first famous advocates of the preservation of natural resources. One way of preserving our natural resources is by recycling, but material for recycling needs to be clean and uncontaminated, meaning not mixed with other materials. Ensure your recyclables are clean by washing bottles and cans in leftover dishwater. Running the hot water especially is a waste of water and energy. While technology is being developed to deal with more mixed and contaminated material, we also need to do our part in order for recycling to be efficient. Contaminating collected materials this way can make the whole batch unusable for recycling, sending it all to the landfill. There are two main types of curbside recycling collection: mixed and source separated. In Tehama County, recycling collection involves all of the different types of recyclable materials being freely mixed together in one container. This is then separated into individual material types at our Materials Recovery Facility, or MRF.
Now we will take one item from our waste pile, like this glass bottle here. What is the material made of? Can you trace this material back to its source? For example, this glass bottle here is made with sand mixed with soda ash and lime and melted down to form a liquid, which is then molded into this glass bottle.
Can you think of anything that you used that is not provided by the earth? As you can see, everything we use comes from the earth.
On your own, you can research the processes and resources needed to make paper, glass, and bicycles using these handouts here.
Manufacturing, production, and recycling of materials is similar to natural cycles like a seed growing into a tree, dying and decomposing, which creates soil fertility so that a new tree can grow. However, human cycles are not usually complete and are sometimes harmful to the environment. Can you name other examples of natural cycles? Try drawing them so that the cycle is easier to understand. Instead of a straight line to the landfill, how can the path be made into a continuous loop? Recycling, which is simply substituting used materials for raw materials, is one way to create a continuous loop. How else could fewer natural resources and less energy be used in manufacturing? By reducing the use of products and by reusing old products, we can use fewer resources.
Using the handout, What Kind of Waste Am I?, go over the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. Remember, non-renewable resources cannot be replaced when used up and are gone forever. Typically, they're made from petroleum and natural gas.
To expand on this activity, make a bulletin board display of natural resources and their origins. Research the life cycle of some item and draw or explain in writing or a flowchart the life cycle of an object that you use in your home. This might be a type of food or product or toy. Remember to include transportation from the origin to the manufacturer to the store, and how you receive the item. Try to be as thorough as possible because each step uses energy, time, money, and creates pollution along the way. To go even further, research the areas of the world where natural resources are mined and how many reserves are known to exist. Include minerals needed to make glass and metals like limestone, sand, feldspar, bauxite, iron, copper, and nickel. After completing this activity, you should be able to recognize that Earth materials have different physical and chemical properties that can be used in different ways, such as for building materials, for sources of fuel, or for an environment to grow plants. Using models will help reinforce this concept. When you can identify two or more points of view on an event or an issue or a problem, you can make better choices when purchasing new items or when determining the right type of transportation to use. Being able to explain various perspectives on recycling and the reasoning behind it also helps when encouraging family and friends or others to reduce, reuse, and recycle.